Are you a Revit user but you want to use Blender's tools for texturing, lighting, and rendering? In this video, I'm going to show you how to import an IFC model from Revit into Blender using the Bonsai add-on. IFC stands for Industry Foundation Classes. It's a common file format for exchanging BIM models between different softwares like Revit and SketchUp. This is a follow-up about my video about using Blender for architecture, where I talked about how Blender can fit into an architectural workflow, even if it isn't your primary software for BIM or documentation. So if you're a Revit or SketchUp user who wants to take advantage of Blender's visualization tools, this could be a really useful workflow for you to know. I have a sample IFC model exported from Revit, and in Blender we're going to use the Bonsai add-on. Under Edit, Preferences, and Add-ons, install the Bonsai add-on and make sure that it's enabled. Go to File, Import, and select the newly available IFC format. I believe this only transfers over geometry data. Find your file, select Load Project, and it's as simple as that. Be aware that meshes will be triangulated. It's not going to create perfect quad geometry. That's not really going to be a big deal, but you can use the command tries to quads, tries for triangles, to convert them back to quads, and then you can do things like create loop cuts. If your computer can handle it, you can select your whole model and convert tries to quads all at once to make everything a little bit easier to work with. But now you can apply PBR materials using the shader editor, set up lights and cameras, and render or animate your scene using the good old Blender tools. That's one way you can get a Revit model into Blender. Another way is to export your Revit model as an FBX file. Those are probably the easiest ways to do it. But there is another workflow that I've used for years before I knew about the Bonsai add-on, and if you're coming from SketchUp, this method may actually be more useful to you. You can actually import IFC files into SketchUp. Go to Import and find your IFC file, and you can see that under supported types, IFC is included. Once it's imported, you'll see the same geometry now in SketchUp. Now you can select everything, go to File, Export 3D Model, select Collada or .dae, and then select Options. These are the settings that I use when exporting Colladas. I export the texture maps, and I triangulate faces. I found that maintains the geometry better in Blender, even if it requires a little bit of cleaning up. So now back in Blender, go to File, Import, and select Collada. There's also an add-on that allows you to import SketchUp files directly, but I don't use this much. Try out both ways and see what works for you. Find your Collada file and import, and now you have the same mesh objects as the IFC model. There are a lot of additional cleanup steps to this process, like clearing relationship lines, dealing with transparency display issues, deleting overlapping geometry to fix Z-fighting, and other issues like that, but I won't be covering that in this video. But now you know a few different ways of getting a model from Revit or SketchUp into Blender. I think Blender is a great option where you can continue your workflow of texturing with PBR materials, adding lights and cameras, and rendering final presentation images. I'm Andrew, and this is my 3D POV, and I make videos for people who want to learn Blender for architecture. Like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more Blender architecture tips and tricks. Thanks for watching.